I'm Lucy Martinez. I'm a 32-year-old interior designer living in Boston. Life seemed perfect until recently. My daughter, Emma, is 6 years old and she means everything to me. I met my husband, Michael Reynolds, 5 years ago at a charity event. He was charming, successful in real estate, and seemed perfect. We got married within a year, and I thought I was living the dream: a loving husband, a beautiful home in Brookline, and a mother-in-law who seemed to like me at first. When I met Patricia, my mother-in-law, she said, "You brought such joy to our family." Little did I know, those kind words were hiding something much darker. The first sign that something wasn't right came during Emma's 5th birthday party. I had planned a princess theme with beautiful decorations, but Patricia didn't like it. She said, "Wouldn't it be nicer with a more sophisticated theme? Children need proper guidance." She told me how she always made Michael's parties educational when he was young. That's when I met Sarah Chen, another daughter-in-law. She pulled me aside and said, "Don't let Patricia get to you. She did the same thing at my daughter's party last month. She always tries to control everything." I was shocked. Every Sunday dinner at Patricia's house felt tense. She'd make her famous roast while making little comments about Emma. "Emma seems a bit unfocused at the table. Perhaps you should consider stricter discipline." She also compared my parenting to her daughter-in-law's, saying things like, "Patricia's daughter practices piano every day." Meanwhile, Michael would stay silent, saying, "She means well." But I noticed how he started to act distant and critical of me after spending time with his mother. One day, Sarah told me that Patricia even tried to convince Michael that I was overspending on the kids. She brought bank statements to show him. I couldn't believe it. I started documenting everything: her comments, criticisms, and how she kept interfering with our parenting. I could feel there was something darker beneath her polished surface, and I was worried about what was going to happen next. When I tried to talk to Michael about it, he said, "You're just being oversensitive." But I could see how Patricia watched me at family gatherings, sizing me up like I was her prey. I had a bad feeling that she wasn't done yet. Things started getting worse at every family gathering. Last month, at Easter dinner, Patricia spilled wine on my new design portfolio right before a meeting with important clients. "Oh, you're still doing that decorating thing?" Patricia said, not even offering to help clean up. "I thought you'd be focusing more on family by now." Michael just sat there, looking at his phone. "She didn't mean it, Lucy," Michael said. "You're just being too sensitive again." But it wasn't just me being sensitive. At Tommy's birthday party, Sarah's child, I overheard Patricia talking to the other mothers. "Poor Michael. I worry about Lucy's stability. She's been so erratic lately. Did you know she takes medication for her nerves?" I had never taken anxiety medication in my life. Then came that horrible Sunday dinner. Emma was being a normal 6-year-old, excited about her school art project. "Sweetheart, please sit still," I said gently, but Patricia snapped, "She's disrupting dinner." "Michael, your daughter needs discipline." Before I could respond, Patricia grabbed Emma's arm and dragged her downstairs. I heard the basement door lock. "She needs to learn," Patricia said, putting the key in her pocket. "This is how we handled Michael when he misbehaved." I heard Emma crying from below, shouting, "Where's my mommy?" I jumped up, yelling, "Give me the key." "You're being hysterical, Lucy," Michael said. "Mom knows what she's doing. Emma was just playing down there." Patricia later claimed everything was fine, but I'd already called the police. That night, Michael's phone lit up with messages from Patricia. "We need to handle this before she ruins everything. Remember what happened with Rachel? We can't let that happen again. I've already spoken to Dr. Harrison about getting her evaluated." My hand shook as I read the messages. The next day at work, James pulled me aside. "Lucy, listen carefully. Something's not right with the company finances. Patricia's name is on documents she shouldn't be involved with. Be careful." Last time someone questioned this, they were forced to resign with serious allegations against them. "What kind of allegations?" I asked. "The kind that ruin careers and families. Watch your back. Patricia has friends in high places, and Michael is deep in whatever she's planning." That night, I overheard Michael on the phone with his mother. "Yes, Mother, I understand. Lucy won't be a problem much longer. Emma still has nightmares about the basement. She wakes up crying, saying, 'Don't let Grandma take me.'" I'm starting to realize this isn't just about controlling his wife anymore. There's something much bigger, something darker happening, and I need to figure out what it is before it's too late. "Mommy, I don't want to go to Grandma's anymore," Emma whispered this morning, her face full of fear. I made a promise to myself: this ends now. After the basement incident, I started digging deeper. Sarah invited me for coffee at a small cafe, away from our usual spots. She told me something shocking. Rachel, Michael's ex-fiancée, didn't actually have an affair. Patricia set the whole thing up and hired someone to fake photos. I found out through my husband's old emails. How do you know all this? I asked. Because she tried the same thing with me, Sarah replied. She told me if I didn't quit my job, some compromising photos might end up in front of your husband. I pretended to make peace with Patricia, accepting her fake apology about the basement incident. Meanwhile, I hired a private investigator. The results were shocking. The investigator told me, your mother-in-law visits your office building regularly when you're not there. She's been meeting with your biggest clients. Sure enough, 3 clients canceled their contracts the next week, awkwardly saying, we heard you're having personal problems. Then, James called me for a secret meeting at a diner outside town. His hands shook as he handed me a USB drive. Lucy, it's all here. Patricia has been using Michael's company to launder money. She's involved in every project. Those luxury condos downtown, all fake. The money is coming from somewhere else. What about Michael? I asked. He signs whatever she puts in front of him. Always has, James said. But here's the kicker, she's been doing this to the whole family. I found Michael's sister Amanda at her yoga studio. Her eyes filled with tears when I mentioned Patricia. She controls everything, even Amanda's business loan, which is really her inheritance. But Patricia made her sign papers saying she owed her. I also found out that Patricia had a history of domestic violence complaints from the household staff, but they were always mysteriously dropped. Keep playing nice, Sarah advised. Document everything. I started recording our conversations for months and wore a small recorder to every family gathering. Last Sunday, I hit gold. I overheard Patricia say to Michael, once we get rid of her, like we did Rachel, everything will go back to normal. The company can't afford questions right now, but Emma will forget about her mother eventually, just like you forgot about your father after I sent him away. My blood ran cold. Michael's father hadn't abandoned them like Patricia claimed. What really happened to him? The next day, James warned me, the business is getting attention from regulators. Patricia's starting to get sloppy. She tried to force me to sign backdated documents. I found papers in Michael's office showing that Patricia had been stealing from her other children's trusts for years. She even forged Michael's signature on documents giving her power of attorney over Emma's college fund. We're all trapped, Amanda confided. She has dirt on everyone, but maybe, together, we can stop her. I looked at my phone, another missed call from Patricia. It was time to spring the trap. Of course, I'll come to dinner on Sunday, Mother, I replied. I think it's time we all had a nice, long family chat. I chose Patricia's annual charity gala for the final showdown. Everyone who mattered in Boston society was there, including her country club friends and business associates. So glad you could make it, dear, Patricia smiled, wearing her signature pearls. Michael said, you've been much more cooperative lately. Little did she know, I had James, Sarah, and all 3 of Michael's siblings ready to go. Even Rachel, his ex-fiancée, flew in from Chicago. The first bomb dropped during Patricia's speech about family values. Speaking of family, Amanda stood up. Let's talk about how you stole our inheritances. I have the real documents right here. Patricia's face tightened. Amanda, dear, you're confused. David joined in. We've seen the proof. Every penny you loaned us was our own money. Sarah stepped forward with her phone. Should we play the recording of you threatening to frame me for an affair? Or maybe the one about hiring someone to stalk Rachel? Patricia lunged for the phone, but James had already connected his laptop to the projector. Your attention please, he announced. These documents show years of fraud at Reynolds Development. Patricia has been using the company to launder money for years. Michael tried to intervene. This is ridiculous. Is it, Michael? Rachel emerged from the crowd. Like how your mother faked photos of me cheating? Or how about we discuss what really happened to your father? The room erupted in chaos. Patricia's country club friends backed away in horror as police officers entered. It turned out James had already contacted the SEC. You ungrateful little, Patricia hissed at me. I'll destroy you like you destroyed your husband. I played the recorded confession about Michael's father on the speakers. 1 year later, life is completely different. My design firm is expanding to New York. Emma's nightmares are getting better with therapy, and she loves her new school. Patricia is facing multiple lawsuits from angry investors. Her social circle completely shunned her after the truth came out. Last I heard, she's living in a small apartment with all her assets frozen. Michael lost everything in our divorce. The SEC investigation revealed he knowingly participated in the fraud. He moved to Ohio after his arrest and works at his cousin's car dealership. Yesterday, I received a tear-stained letter from Patricia. I'm sorry for everything. Can we talk? I shredded it without reading past the first line. Mommy, can we get ice cream? Emma asked this morning, her smile bright and unafraid as she looked around our peaceful new home, surrounded by true friends like Sarah and James. I knew we'd made it. Sure, baby, we can do whatever we want now. Nobody can hurt us anymore. The best revenge? We're happy, successful, and completely free of toxic people. As for Patricia, she's just a cautionary tale I share with other women about trusting their instincts. Some people don't deserve second chances. Sometimes, walking away and letting karma do its work is the best revenge of all. What would you have done if you discovered your mother-in-law wasn't just toxic, but actually dangerous? Would you have exposed her immediately after the basement incident? Or would you have played the long game like I did to gather evidence and take down her entire empire? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to hear more stories about standing up to toxic family members and getting justice, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Together, we can support each other in breaking free from manipulation.